We're going.
We're going. What up? It's my friend Dan Cormier. Dan, I want to thank you, man.
Thank you,
always
Robin.
take the
I appreciate
time
it. Yes,
to,
got you, right?
Well, you share ideas with me, and that helps me grow as a martial artist and at my job, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I really do.
I appreciate it.
These days when I'm studying you guys, top fighters, martial arts, I'm not just looking at how you fight, but what I can learn from the way you process life, the way you interact with people, the way you structure things. And a lot of that comes from training, and it makes you better at other stuff.
Yes.
I saw you with your kids. You're fucking killer dad.
Thank you.
You could see. What is it about being a wrestler, a martial artist, a champion that's making you a better dad?
Well, I mean, it's just being able to like understand what's truly important, right? So, as much as I love the game, you know, I love the sport, I love fighting, I love commentating, I love all this stuff. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is back in Gilroy, you know, Selena and my two kids, Daniel and Marquita. And I watch and I think back to my journey athletically, and I try to instill some of the values that I know help me be successful into my young ones. And I see myself in them, and I see their improvement not only athletically but also their approach to sport and life, right? Yeah. So when you approach sport in a certain way, it really does help to affect life, because if you can commit to a game, you can commit to all things that are important in life.
When I watch fighting now, as somebody who's studied it for much of my life and dedicate myself to trying to connect to it and understand it and share ideas about it, I see it as a metaphor for everything. You know, how you work your way out of half guard is a metaphor for how you find a new job, and how you deal with pressures, how you deal with a fight with your boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or whatever. You know what I mean? It's a metaphor for everything.
Yes, it is. You know, and I think that's why everybody can relate to the fight game so much, right? Because it isn't everything that you do. Who at some point in their life didn't have to go through a tough situation and come out better on the other side? We've all done it. I mean, I've done it on numerous occasions in life, and now in sport. You know, I have to. I mean, you have to be willing to pick yourself up and try to become better. It's not easy, man. There are just so many things in life that are going to really knock you back in ways that you never could have expected. And you got to be willing and able to get through it, and also in sport.
And when you train sport, you're training the ability to get through things, to tough it out, to push yourself further than you knew you could.
Yes, you have to. I mean,
you do it every day now.
Every day in the gym. Also, because you never know when you're going to have to try to fight through some adversity inside the octagon, right? You never know when you're going to have to deal with, like me, you never know when you're going to have to deal with a knee from Alexander Gustafsson, getting knocked down by Anthony Johnson, taking that head kick from Jones. You never know when those things are going to present themselves. How are you going to get through them if possible? You know, it's man, it's tough. You know, it's a tough game, but we love it. We all love it.
But what you just described is true again. It's a metaphor for everything. You never know when you're gonna family member is gonna tragically something will happen. You never know when your job is gonna disappear. You never know when there's gonna be an earthquake or a fire that affects your family. You don't know that.
Things that are just out of your control. You know, and I think when you can keep that in perspective, Robin, like when you can keep that in this bubble of mixed martial arts, right? Regardless of how upset you get after a competition or before a competition, how hard practice may be. It's such a small thing in the grand scheme of just the life, right? Because life is so much bigger, and life happens all around you all the time. Life's constantly.
It's changing constantly.
All the way, it's changing. Like, I look at my kids, and they're like little human beings. Before they were babies, they were crawling and not moving, and now I watch my son walk in the house after school, go upstairs, he gets dressed, he comes back, he does his homework, and then it's like, all this dude's like, he's becoming reliant on himself in life. You know, I remember before, we had to go into the bathroom and wipe them when they use the bathroom. Now you don't hear nothing. Because they are becoming little human beings, man. It's an amazing journey. Life is.
Yeah. Do you have an idea who you're going to be when you're 50 and 60? Do you have an idea at all?
I don't. You know, and I think that's it's intriguing, and it's a funny and happy thought, because I know who I want to be today. I know who I'm going to be in 2 years, hopefully. But I don't know what's gonna happen I don't know what's gonna happen in 15 years. You know, I mean,
the only thing you know is that you don't know.
I don't know, and it's interesting because it's like, who will Daniel Cormier at 50? Will everything look the same with his kids? Will he still be able to be will I become a better role model and example for my kids as I get older? Because we are all with mistakes. We've all made mistakes, and none of us are without fault. So I know I make mistakes in my parenting. I know I make mistakes in my life and in my career. But it's like, can I be better at 50? It's so interesting and intriguing, right? Because when you were 15, you never knew who you would be at 30.
No.
Right? And when you look back, you're like, man, I was that guy at 22 years old in college. I was a wild man. I was like, wow, it's crazy that I've come so far.
Yeah, and I think success can help you have a new place to start to strive for something better. But at the same time, like, failing or having setbacks is mandatory. Like, if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to really learn anything or have a reset or a refocus of where your path is going.
Everybody has, right? Everybody has. Like, I mean, everybody has from me to everybody, you know. Think of all the greats, you know, in every sport, though. Think of Chuck Liddell. Think of you know,
Wayne
Gretzky's, Michael Jordan's. Even a guy like Michael Jordan, who dominated for so long, went through his setbacks, not only competitively but also in life, right? So when Jordan was supposed to be the best player in the world, the Celtics and the Pistons, they knocked him off, knocked him off, and he had to continue to improve until eventually he can actually beat those teams, him and his team. Then, when things were all going great, and I don't know, like, you know, obviously details are very limited, but then his father passes, you know, and all that, and he had to rebuild again. Now, when you look at John Elway, his whole career, struggle, walks out on top, right?
Yeah.
It's like you have to deal with the adversity before you can actually really enjoy the ultimate, like, success. And anything that's worth having does come through hard work and commitment, and you have to climb some hills to get there. So, yeah, man, it's like when you think about life, Robin, and that's why I like talking to you, because we don't talk just about sport. We talk about things that are so much deeper than what's in the now. It's great.
For me, I sometimes get frustrated. I try not to anymore. When I'm watching this thing, the world that you guys are in, which is this fascinating microcosm that I'm obsessed with, and I get troubled that people are like, all they want to talk about is, if you win this, will you be the champion? And, you know, why didn't you throw leg kicks? And it all seems so, and I'm not knocking anybody, but it feels regimented, as if somehow by controlling the message, you control thought. Like, if we only give you two messages, you only think about those two things as an audience or fans. You know what I mean? And all of these things are there every time you watch fighting. You're watching all of these things. You're watching growth and evolution and learning and setbacks and failure, and life lessons are sitting there right in front of you every single fight.
Right in front of you. But it's very simple to. I'm trying to get to the tweet, Robin, so I can put it up there. It's very easy to talk about what should happen on the outside.
Right.
Because I can actually feel like. What's the address for this, Robin?
I think if you just retweet that, it's probably the best.
Okay, I'll retweet right here.
Yeah, I think if you retweet that, because
yeah.
So, you know, well, this will be up on YouTube, and we'll send you that so you can retweet this. On Periscope, I often just invite people who are like really up to the minute, and it's a smarter place. Like, these are people who are like curious about things a little deeper.
You get very, very exclusive in the moment.
Exactly.
You know, which
Whereas
is awesome.
on YouTube, you can share later, and 10, 20, 30, 50,000 people can see it.
Yeah.
But here, you can find people, and most of these people are people who really deeply care about these ideas.
And I appreciate these guys.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys.
But it's crazy that at different times, and if we had another phone and put up, say, your Instagram Live here, we grab another 500 people.
That's so crazy.
We're able to have a conversation and invite people to hang out with us.
And
today.
just kind of like, it does
wild,
feel like more like they're just,
Yeah.
We're just having a conversation and we're inviting people into our sit down, which is cool.
That is cool. I know you got to go and you don't have unlimited time, and like I said, I appreciate you. When I talked to Bisping over the last couple of months, once he got to the point where he was fighting George, and then, hey, we'll have another fight or two, I asked him, have you taken time now, before you say goodbye, to cherish these moments and to cherish, you know, the fights and the experience, and to look back and look at your life and go, shit, I've done amazing things. And he said he's starting to do that. You won't really start to do that for a few fights yet, right?
My wife said to me the other day, she said, you always said that you would not be fighting at 40, right? I always said, I said, if I'm fighting at 40, I've done some things wrong. But I also said last year, I go, if I'm fighting guys like Misha Serkinov and Volkan Ozdemir, I stayed around too long. Well, I'm fighting Volkan Ozdemir. Who would have known that Volkan Ozdemir was going to do what he did in such a short period of time? But she asked me something very interesting. She said, if you're saying that, Daniel, and you're going to be done before you're 40, we're going into your last year. Are you completely okay not having something that you've had since you were 15 years old, when you wrestled in your first national tournament and first international tournament? So
you don't know the answer to that.
I do, actually. I do. Like, Robin, I swear, man, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay if this is my final year of competition, because I'd be okay. I'd be okay with the focus of my athletic competitions going on my children. Yeah. And then they become the focus of the competitions in our family. I'd be completely okay with it.
Somebody's like, Serkinov wins, you might face both.
I know, that's crazy, but those guys are super talented. I didn't mean it disrespectful. I just meant that they were younger and just kind of on their way up. Yeah. Somebody also said, how do I feel about Jones if I'm happy he's gone? No, I'm not happy he's gone, because the crazy thing is, and I saw this somewhere on an interview after I lost. It said, what if John, something happens with Jones and then he comes back and they're like, here you go, DC, fight him again. Like, would DC really want to do it? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Of course I'd want to do it. Like 1,000%. There is still not a bone in my body that does not believe I win that fight against him. I still do. Now, will I have to fight the perfect fight? Yes. I will have to fight the perfect fight. But I would still fight him. Yeah, every time.
For sure you would. You'd fight him 6 more times.
6 more times.
This is who you are, and that's one of the things what I take. Again, I'm studying your guys' fighting, but I'm studying how you live and the choices that you make and what there is to learn from people successful in this way. And what people can't connect to is you would fight him 1,000 more times.
1,000 times.
Like, you would fight him over and over again until you win that fight.
Of course,
it's like next time.
But it does not matter. You know, like it's like I lost a fight, you know. Yeah. He listen, for everything that happened, he landed a beautiful head kick. He got me with something.
Set it up nice.
Set it up nice. He threw a lot of body. He did a lot of body work, and I anticipated body. He kicked me in the head, and then I think what people are missing, and I think what people are missing in that whole exchange, right, is that when he kicked me, I kind of started stumbling. I didn't fall, but then when I started to back up to try to create space, he kicked my leg and made me spin. Very smart of him, because now I'm discombobulated. Right now I'm like, I don't know where I am anymore.
You won't see that one coming.
And then I tripped. And once I tripped, it was over. He's a fantastic finisher. He does a great job of finishing fights, man, and he did a good job. I mean, look, he's always been a great fighter. Yeah. You know, it's just everything else is everything else is just it's just unfortunate, but can't get out of his own way. Dude has some demons.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, everyone are people too, and that's another thing. Our perspective of how we see the world right now. Somebody will see somebody's worst moment and say that is them.
Yeah,
or they'll see their best moment and say that's them. We're all those things. We're all the best moments and the worst moments and the weird things. You know.
I am at my best. And I am at my worst. I'm Daniel Cormier, the guy that cried in the octagon, because it means that much to me. I would do it every single time. Every time. When I lost as a 15-year-old kid, when I lost in the NCAA finals, when I lost in the Olympic semifinals, or I lost the Olympic bronze medal match, I always shed those tears, because I put every part of me into those competitions. And for me, that fight was so much more than just a fight. And I was so much more than just a fight. So I needed to fight. So I cried, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
And I would do it again.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. Like, that's the way to live your life. And sometimes people will see people doing well and say, oh, you should have done this. Or you're living your fucking life at the highest level. It's something you should be very proud of.
Thank you.
I'll let you go because Ben, I will see you over there. Maybe we'll catch up later tonight. But did you think about you have a world championship title defense in a month? Did you think about not doing this gig here in Winnipeg?
You know, I've never done Big Fox. I've never done a network show. So it was my first chance to get to do the network. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. I like commentating. Yeah. It's fun. But I also brought my training partner and my coach, and then Zach Cummings and how am I forgetting this fucking name? Zach Cummings and James Krause. James Krause was a fantastic guy. Yeah. He's an unbelievable guy. And he did a fantastic job on Fox a couple weeks ago. They've been so willing to help me grapple. I sparred with James this morning, not James, with Zach and another guy. So Tyler, my nutritionist, who also doubles as a training guy. So I got all my work in, man. So I feel good. I never thought about missing it. I thought about bringing my family because my kids have never truly seen snow like this. But then when they saw the temperature was like -10, Selena was like, I'm going to stay home.
I don't blame them. This is my home. I love it here. And what you'll find is the people are really killer.
Nice people.
Enjoy the commentary. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to sit in between Anik and you within a year. I'm going to do it.
Let's
do
do
it.
Let's
sit with you.
Let's do it, Robin. You're the man. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks for taking the time.
No problem. Hey, guys, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Really do. Thank you, guys.
Cheers.